when Parliament gave a nod for critical minerals to be mined by private players with a view, Kartik, that these minerals, metals are important. Specifically, lithium is important to manufacturing batteries in India. The government is all set to now start auctioning in next 2 weeks.
Absolutely. So I think this timeline was pretty clear even in the month of August, because December is when, in August, the government had said that around December is when the auction would take place, and I think government sticking to its timeline. Now, why is lithium important? I think lithium is critical right now for India's energy transition. And what is this energy transition? The energy transition is from fossil non-renewable based sources of energy to renewable and eco-friendly sources of energy. Now, India has its net carbon neutral mission by 2070 to be achieved, but then there's a shorter timeline before that also of 2030. What do we want to do by 2030? We want 30% of our passenger vehicles, cars, to run on electric energy rather than conventional fuel. And hence, any sort of dependence on China or any other country out there to make lithium ion batteries and export them to India is going to have that dependence, a direct impact on India's current account deficit, and more importantly, you don't have the capability to manufacture it here in India. Now, with the lithium mine auction beginning, hopefully 2 weeks from now, we will see some serious play in terms of Indian companies wanting to participate in that auction and get a piece of that large 30% pie of electric mobility in India. Add to that, you also have interesting elements like titanium. Now, what is titanium being used in? Titanium is being used in the casing of the new iPhone 15, which is being manufactured in India. Who's manufacturing it? A company called Wistron. Who has bought Wistron? A company called Tata Steel. So, overall, you see, when you talk about manufacturing in India and you talk about India's both energy transition as well as the manufacturing prowess that we want to really garner now, all these minerals mines are going to be absolutely critical in ensuring that we are very close to the source of supply, the raw material. Now, 20 such minerals likely to go under the hammer auctions to begin. I think what is also absolutely critical here is that the government was also proactive in announcing the royalty. So, for lithium, the royalty that the government is going to seek from every lithium block mined is about 3%. And for other minerals, it's going to be about 1% or so.
So there is a concession there.
So, yeah, there's a concession. I think it's in line with how, rare earth minerals are, the kind of royalty they command globally. So, even in the case of lithium, 3 to 4% is the average, and India is taking that 3% route. Now, at one level, it is of course India being self-reliant when it comes to its own minerals that go into the manufacturing process. At another level, this is also a source of revenue that opens up for the government for this sort of protected sector, which has just been opened up now in 2023 with the amendment to the Mines Act.
All right, and you can see mostly metal pack reacting positively, steel metal pack reacting positively to that news. Nifty metal up at 1.67%.
Yeah, no surprise there. I think Hindalco, Tata Steel, JSW Steel, Jindal Steel, all expected. I would have liked to see Vedanta also here. I don't know if we have that stock and if we can pull it up later, but I think Vedanta also becomes, because of its interest in semiconductors, because of its interest in overall the whole rare earth minerals piece and natural resources being the calling card of Vedanta, I think it would be interesting to see that stock as well.
Right. I think Rakesh continues to be with us. Rakesh, it is okay, Rakesh is not with us, but Kartik, this is positive news for about 10 to 12 players, as government has said, who have the capability to mine these metals. There'll also be fears around privatization of rare earth minerals. How will the government allay those fears?
No, so I don't think this is privatization. This is an auction where for a certain period of time you get access to mine those blocks and extract whatever wealth you can from those blocks that you get as part of your auction.
Right.
A part of that revenue goes to government of India.
But this was so far only with the government?
It was with the government, but it was in any case a protected sector, and up until maybe December last year or Jan this year, government of India did not even know that in Jammu and Kashmir and in Ladakh we have these huge reserves of lithium. I think lithium as an element became popular only when we started looking at electric mobility more seriously, and hence there was no point keeping all that wealth buried away, in remote areas. So it's better to open that up. Now,
Right.
privatization, I mean, at some level, I think we've got to realize that it's not the job of the government to be in the business of business. So the government has been fairly clear, especially this government, the ruling NDA government, has been fairly open to opening up sectors to the private sector and really looking at private sector to participate in nation building. And it's only fair that you don't restrict this mining activity only to the PSUs and have a sort of level playing field, fair play with those who have the resources to come take the risk of exploring vast acres and acres of land in the bid to find small reserves of a rare earth mineral which will go back into production. I think it's only fair, and any fears that blocks are going to get and rare earth is going to get privatized, I don't think there is
Expensive,
much to
privatized,
I
not
mean,
much there.
At least somebody is going to make the investment to look
Absolutely.
and discover those minerals.
And I think I'll be very interested to know who these contenders are, who these 10 to 12 private
I think all the
individuals
names
are.
that we saw are definitely going to buy into this, auction process. Titanium being, of course, a rich source, graphite being something that we use every day in regular batteries as well, and many other, electronic components. In addition to that, lithium, of course, that we've spoken at length about. The entire EV journey of India starts and ends with India being able to produce batteries and India being self-reliant when it comes to electric mobility batteries, for which
Absolutely.
lithium is absolutely critical.